As many of you know, I was a Democrat until 5 or 6 years ago. In addition to my job as a house painter, I'm also a musician in Los Angeles. And until I started to move gradually away from the left, most of my friends were in show business or trying to get into show business. And 90% of them were liberals/progressives. I know what makes these folks tick. You've heard of virtue signaling? That is the specialty of singer-songwriters. They are the masters of the humble brag. If you go see a typical guy with guitar who tours and makes a living, you will not escape without hearing a heartwarming story about how he met a wise old black man in a train station, or how he learned a key life lesson from the Muslim family in his neighborhood. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear at least one song sung in Spanish. This is the performer proving how enlightened he is. That's the humble brag. That's virtue signaling. Here's the game. They know that they are expected to be on the left. Their audiences are mostly on the left. The venues are run by people on the left. So even if they wanted to express a conservative idea, they know that it would probably cost them gigs and record sales and butts in the seats. So they pick up on whatever the hive mind currently sees as virtuous and then signal their agreement with those ideas. They are expected to lean left, and so they lean left. It's just good business. They pretend to be scared to death that conservatives will oppress everybody. But they all know conservatives. They aren't afraid of us. They aren't really even afraid of Donald Trump. If they'd have met him a week before he entered the race, they'd have bugged him for a selfie. They're afraid, no, they're terrified of each other. They have watched as the party they vote with has turned into an angry mob of torchlight vigilantes. They saw what can happen when a witch hunt gets underway. They watched as progressives tried to go after Trump and Roy Moore for sexual misconduct and ended up ruining the careers of dozens of their own people. That's what happens with mobs. A mob is as dumb as its dumbest member. And when a mob springs up around you, either you join the mob, you run like hell, or you prepare to be clubbed to death. Look, the left has been taken over by control freaks and radicals. The progressives and the cultural Marxists have grabbed control. They are the ones with all the crazy ideas. The moderate liberals are just trying to get along and, be virtuous. But the hard left is calling the shots now, and they don't give a rat's ass about virtue. They want to conquer. I know an Emmy-winning TV writer who's also a damn fine musician. I've been Facebook friends with her for at least 8 years and never heard her post about politics. Then one day she posted this: "I don't usually hate anybody, but I hate Donald Trump." Hate was in all capital letters. What was she doing? She was hate signaling, because hate is the new virtue. Another friend of mine runs a music series. Before Trump, I'd never heard her once get political. But last summer, she suddenly had political opinions, and they were all driven by Trump hate. Or her attempt at it. She's really too nice and too much of a grown-up for this nonsense. But the anti-Trump environment is forcing her to choose sides. If she didn't post negative stuff about Trump, she might be seen as a Trump supporter. And she just can't risk it. Signaling virtue won't cut it on the left anymore. The radicals want blood. They don't want America great again. They want America dismantled. And heaven help anybody who tries to stop them. This is why Robert De Niro goes on stage and curses Trump like a disoriented old crank on a street corner. This is why the audience stands up cheering. They are scared shitless of being caught up in the next purge. They've been swept up in a mob, and they don't want the mob to turn on them, plain and simple. This is why they are hate signaling. Now, right now, it is really important that conservatives do not become hysterical. And it's crucial that we stay connected to our moderate liberal friends and family, or reconnect with them if bad blood has already set in. Don't be too mad at them. They are under tremendous pressure from the leftist mob. Hate has no future. It always burns itself out, but only after it burns up everything in its path. Give your moderate left-leaning friends something else to hold on to. Represent our values as clearly and as pleasantly as you can. Eventually, sanity will come back into style. Maybe not this year, definitely not in 2020, but, eventually. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.